The elders became quieter in their tales. It seemed that the old way of life had disappeared forever. In less than 4 months, 14,000 people in Hawa's city had been killed, 27,000 wounded, and almost 200,000 forced to move away. Famine slowly began to cast dark shadows over the land. Hawa had no choice but to work harder, speak louder, and dream bigger. She used her family's ancestral land to open a small clinic on the outskirts of the city. She worked tirelessly to raise funds to keep it running, turning a little practice into a 400-bed hospital. And right in the middle of all the fighting and the famine, she set up a camp for shelter, helping 90,000 of her people when few others could. When one day soldiers came with their guns blazing, threatening Hawa with violence and death, she stood her ground. When they tried to make her feel small for being a woman, she stood tall instead. "You are a young man," Hawa said, unarmed and without fear to one of them. "What have you done for your people?" Bewildered, the soldiers walked away, leaving Hawa unharmed. Unfortunately, that wasn't the last Hawa saw of them. For years afterwards, the soldiers came back, continuing to threaten her, and on one occasion, arrest her. Despite this, Hawa didn't buckle. To this day, she stays strong. Hawa now has daughters of her own. Together, she and these brave women oversee Hope Village, a sanctuary they have built for Somali families who, due to conflict and famine, have had to leave their homes. Even though Somalia is still war-torn, even though its buildings and its people have fallen, and even though it seems like everything is lost, Hawa still hopes for the day when the Somalia she once played in emerges once more into the sunlight. Interesting fact. In 2010, Dr. Hawa Abdi was kidnapped by rebel soldiers and held hostage. She was finally released after women from her village protested, and Dr. Hawa Abdi demanded a written apology from her kidnappers, which they gave. Mahershala Ali, Oscar winner, actor, and producer. 1974, Oakland, California. It was the winter of 1974, and in the busy city of Oakland, California, Mahershala Hushbaz Gilmore, known as Mahershala, was born. His mother was the daughter of a Christian Baptist minister, and his father was a budding theater actor who was in love with music and dance. When Mahershala was growing up, it wasn't a surprise that he found himself falling in between their completely different lifestyles and feeling even more divided after his parents' divorce when he was 3. Mahershala's teenage years were filled with school, church, and basketball. But at night, he wrote poetry and strung lyrics together on pieces of paper. Even though he was skilled at shooting hoops on the court, a talent that would win him a scholarship to St. Mary's College, he had a magnetic creative pull that made him long for something more. Deep down, Mahershala knew that he was an artist, not an athlete. And only when he visited his father in New York during his summers did that side of him truly come to life. New York was a city bursting with colors and cultures, and Mahershala's father took him to museums, cinemas, and even shows on Broadway. He watched dancers swing across stages, hummed to old songs that made his feet tap, and lost himself in the stories of the past. Mahershala listened to his father's tales too, of filmmaker Spike Lee and actor Robert Townsend, and his frustrations that there were so few black actors working in cinema. It just wasn't good enough. His father, Philip, wanted to see his own people on screen, and he worked tirelessly to make it happen. He didn't know that his words had planted seeds that would set Mahershala on his own path to stardom. Back home in Oakland, Mahershala grew close.